everyone. Welcome to This Day. Today is Saturday and it is October 10th. Now on our show today, we are going to have a United update for you that's going to talk about the ballot and what to look for in the ballot and how to fill it out. Then we're also going to have a segment from Memorial Care. We are visited with Dr. Sternfeld, who is a OBGYN, and he's got lots of very interesting information for us. All right, let's go ahead and give you our resources that we normally do on a regular basis. We've got covid19.ca.gov, where you can follow along with the governor's plans. We have OCHealthInfo.com, where you can get all the latest COVID numbers by city. Then there is a hotline, 714-834-2000. Of course, you could always go to our website, which is LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com, and you can email us any questions or concerns to info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Now, our weather this weekend is delightful. It is going to be a nice temperature today, 76, 62. Tomorrow, we're looking at 76, 61, but unfortunately, starting Monday, we are looking at a warming trend, 89, 65, and then the rest of the week looks pretty toasty. So we'll keep you up to date on that when we return on Monday. Now let's take a look at our traveling slides. Well, wait, we're gonna go to sunrise and sunset first. Look at how adorable Honey Bear is. I sent that in because I didn't have another one to put there, and that's my adorable Shiba Inu Honey Bear. And the sunrise was at 6:52 this morning, and the sunset will be at 6:23. And if you have a favorite photo of your beloved pet, feel free to email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. And that was when she was probably about 14 years old, so miss her a lot. In any case, if you are traveling this weekend, take a look at our temperatures at the beaches, 72, 61. Mammoth is cooling way down at night, 28 with a high of 63. Big Bear, 63, 40. And then Palm Springs is a delightful 93, 64. So we've moved out of those triple digits there. All right, when we come back, we are going to have a United update, and I will be giving you the update. So come on back and see that. It'll be very informative about the ballots. Stay tuned.
At the Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback, you will always find a friendly face to guide you through your annual mammogram visit. Our staff, dedicated subspecialist breast radiologists, knowledge, and innovative technology await your visit to our center. With the Laguna Woods shuttle service right at our sidewalk, this convenient location offers you quick access for your appointment. You can expect nothing but the best for all your breast health needs at Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback.
I've been working with retirees since 1984. I specialize in protecting people's money, setting up a secure retirement income stream for them, and making sure their money is there when they need it. I started Sterling Financial Advisors under the premise that we not only needed quality service for clients out there in the financial industry, but ethical standards as well.
We don't have any monopoly on the investments we use. What we do have a monopoly on is the integrity and how we treat our clients.
Get your vote by mail ballot?
You can stay healthy and fill it out from the safety of home.
Or you can fill it out anywhere.
It's easy to mail back. You don't even need a stamp.
Or you could use an official drop box.
You can even drop it off at the polls.
Then track it to confirm your county got it. See, they got it.
Mail ballots are the simple, safe, and secure way to ensure that your vote is counted.
Welcome back. All right, well, I wanted to tell you about the United candidates. So we have a variety of candidates, and you can only vote for 4. So the ballots have been mailed, so you should have already received them, and each for terms of 3 years. They've been mailed, so you should get those. And as I mentioned, you can only vote for no more than 4 candidates. Now, one thing that you want to take into consideration when voting for these candidates, well, actually not just one thing, but a variety of different things that United wants you to remember. Integrity, courage, mature confidence, zero tolerance for unethical behavior, no conflicts of interest, never use position for personal gain or service, understand that a director represents all members, and that is defined as the corporation, and you are not beholden to any special interest group. Recognize appropriate tone, volume, and comment length. Actively participate in board and committee deliberations. Do the right thing, even if it's difficult or unpopular. Corporate manners and etiquette, and collaborate toward workable compromise, understanding that the board speaks as a whole. Treat your board members, staff, residents with courtesy and respect. Have a sense of context, relevant, informed, specific comments on the topic. Certainly commitment, because there's a lot of work involved. And then put in your required time, heart, and effort. So there's a few things that you may want to take into consideration when you are looking at the candidates to make sure that they are going to meet many of those requirements. Now, there were 500 United ballots that had to be discarded, and they were not counted last year because they were not filled out properly. So I want to take this time now to help you understand how to fill out your ballot. Now, as you can see on the picture here, I know it's a little hard to see, but there's a circle. And there's little bubbles that you're going to need to fill in. Do not X them or put a dot. You have to fill in the entire circle, either using a black or dark pen only. And you want to complete the entire oval. Don't put an X or a check mark or anything else. Now, what you're going to do once you have completed your ballot, you are going to insert your completed ballot into the secret ballot envelope, and then you're going to seal that. So the next slide will tell you what the secret ballot looks like, and it's white and it looks something like this. Do not put any markings on this ballot at all. Now you're going to take this particular ballot and you're going to insert it in the pink postage paid return envelope that is addressed to United Laguna Woods Mutual, Inspector of Elections, P.O. Box 3026 Danville. So everything's already done for you there. And you're going to seal that. Then remember, on the back of that same envelope, there is a place for you to sign your name. Please make sure you sign your name and don't send it in without that. And again, don't mark it up with anything extra. And then unsigned return envelopes will be considered invalid, and that ballot will not be able to be counted. Now, mail-in ballots must be received at the post office no later than 11 a.m. Monday, November 2nd. And if you want a receipt for the mailed ballot, you can return it certified delivery, but then that is at your own expense. Now, you can hand deliver your ballots. You can place them in the official ballot box, which will be in the front of our community services building at 24351 El Toro Road, and that must be received no later than 5 p.m. also on Monday, November 2nd. Now, you can call the Inspector of Elections duplicate ballot request. If for any reason you have lost your ballot or it's damaged, you want to call 855-240-0363, and that is a 24/7 number. And you're going to tell the operator where you are from, and they will go ahead and get you a new ballot. So other than that, your ballots will be counted Tuesday, November 3rd, beginning at 9:30 in the morning, and there will be a virtual meeting that will be televised right here, and we can give you information about that on Monday or as time goes on throughout the month of October. And be sure to mail your ballot no later than October 28th, and make sure you read all the rules of the election. So there you go, your United update regarding your ballot. And when we come back, we will have Memorial Care, Dr. Sternfeld. Stay tuned. welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Daniel Sternfeld, who is here from Memorial Care. Hello, how are you doing today?
Excellent, thank you.
So we're going to talk about women who have gone through menopause and some of the gynecological things that they should be considering. Either they might be having some issues or things that we just haven't thought about. So give us an idea of whether or not we still need to visit a gynecologist after we have been through menopause.
Absolutely. Obviously, a woman's life is divided primarily into your reproductive years after puberty, and those primarily have issues with childbearing, getting pregnant, contraceptive preventing pregnancy. And then for most women around age 50 is when you go through menopause. That means you basically ovaries have no more eggs. You're not going to be able to get pregnant anymore, and you experience loss of estrogen. So there are problems related to loss of estrogen. So even as a gynecologic surgeon, we're managing hormone issues, transitioning into a menopause, problems very commonly like vaginal dryness, which about half of women have. And then there are particular problems that are gynecologic that would be possibly managed by surgery. And a major one that we see in women is prolapse or falling pelvic organs. So, and this is more common among women who've had children, and there may be some stretching of the tissues, especially those women who've had big babies, but even in women who've had cesarean sections, you can have changes in tissues. And so some women may experience that, and it may begin even shortly after childbirth, where they have a loss of urine with coughing and sneezing. And then this can progress. So we see kind of an acceleration of some of that, where people they feel bulging and perhaps in the vaginal area, a sense of pressure, problems with urine control. So that's a whole class of kind of surgery that we do where it may require surgery, and not always necessarily. Sometimes we have non-surgical methods to treat these problems. But that is sometimes where a surgery will come in place where we repair or restore the pelvic floor tissues. Then the other things that for women in menopause is more common, unfortunately, is certain kinds of cancer. So as women age, the risk of uterine cancer, ovarian cancer increases. Cervical cancer actually is a disease of a little bit younger women. It peaks in your 40s, but it still can be seen in women in their 50s and 60s. And that's why the more current recommendation for women who are approaching 70 and beyond, who've never had a problem with a Pap smear, don't necessarily have to be screened for cervical cancer. But the other problems like uterine cancer, we treat. So that ties into problems where women will have bleeding after menopause, and a lot of those are benign issues that we treat. Sometimes they're treated with surgery. There are little polyps and growths, and other times, obviously, we have to screen and make sure someone doesn't have cancer.
So when you talk about all these different things, I mean, obviously the most important thing would be have your yearly check, because I would imagine that could a Pap smear tell you about these kinds of things?
A Pap smear is primarily designed for checking for cervical cancer. So absolutely, and cervical cancer can develop after menopause. It also can pick up, it's a time when you get infections. And also there's some sense of where a woman goes in there and you may not even notice it. You may have microscopic small bleeding. And sometimes a Pap smear will show some cells that are coming from up higher from the uterus, even rarely the ovary, where you see cells that shouldn't be there. And we've had many cases of women over the years who the Pap smear actually indicated not a cervical problem, but a possible beginning of uterine cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, what happens if you had some of these other things that you're mentioning, where you have some uterine issues? Is that something that you would be talking to with your gynecologist before they come in to see you?
Wait, they're asking the patient discusses
with me? So if a patient is having the kinds of issues that you're talking about, for instance, where you are having trouble holding your urine when you're sneezing or coughing and things like that, would that be something that they would talk to their gynecologist about?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, most of those have to do with the base of the bladder. That's part of the pelvic exam. So we can see the support of the urethra and the bladder, and if there's damage and injury to that. And again, I just to stress for women, that doesn't always mean you need a surgery. There could be other issues. Sometimes we treat with medication. Some people have what's called an overactive bladder, where the bladder spasms, and that can sometimes be caused by medications you're taking. It could be treated by some other medication. So it's not always a surgical treatment. However, there are women, you know, with support of the urethra and the bladder, where we have these, it's revolutionary in the last 10, 15 years, we have these little outpatient surgeries where you can put a little support under the urethra and you go home the same day, and it can stop urinary leakage.
Wow. Well, that's amazing, because it seems like a lot of women, that seems like one of the primary things that they do have issues with, you know, starting at some of the earlier stages of menopause. So what exactly is being done? That's considered a non-invasive surgery?
Well, no, it's a minimally invasive surgery, if you want to call that. So for women that have, we call it stress and urinary incontinence, and that's most common. That's extremely common. Probably about a third of women have some degree, especially after having children, of some urinary incontinence. And for some women, it may be just an occasional thing, or if they have a severe cough, or, you know, laughing really hard, where, you know, they know those special cases and can maybe manage, cross their legs, or do something to prevent urinary loss. And some people, that's not a major problem for them. They can handle that. Then there are some women that it's a daily event. They have to be very careful. They don't want to soil their pants, so or underwear. So for that, the procedure for that type of incontinence is a little tiny. It looks like almost a little tape, a little tiny thing that we put just underneath the urethra. So it's a little incision you can't even see under the urethra, and we kind of place this underneath there and just press it against the urethra. So when you cough or sneeze, it's basically, if I was going to show my hand, if you cough and sneeze, it's dropping and you leak. So it's something that it's almost like a little hammock. It gently cradles your urethra. It's a little, and it's really very hard to even feel. If you put a woman examine herself, you wouldn't be able to feel it. And it just gives a little platform. So when you cough or sneeze, you don't get that big drop where you leak. And that's enough for most women where they won't leak anymore.
Oh, that's awesome. And then what about robotic assisted surgery? I would imagine that would be something more invasive.
Right. So now you're getting to robotic surgery, is kind of the revolution that started probably around 10 to 15 years ago. I did the first robotic surgery at Saddleback. It's been about 10 years ago or so. Now, the advantage of that, and that's used by other types of surgeons, it's used by urologists and even general surgeons these days, is the advantage of that was to put these tiny little incisions, even like 5 millimeters. So it's basically like a thick pencil-sized little tiny incision, and put several of these in the abdominal wall and hook this up to a robot, and then use that through kind of basically, you sit in a console. It's kind of like playing a video game. I put my hands in the little gloves and I can control this robot. So instead of in the old days where you'd have to open somebody up like doing a cesarean section, a big incision, you have to put a retractors in, put your hands in there and work in a woman's pelvis. And this way you put little tiny incisions, you use the robot to operate these miniature hands, and you can do, example, the common thing we do is a hysterectomy. So we can remove a uterus through little tiny incisions. It basically is turned a 2 to 3 day hospital stay into staying in the hospital for several hours and going home the same day. So where would we use that? For gynecologists, we use it for benign tumors, bleeding, things like that. It can be used, usually there's a separate, if someone has cancer, we have it at Memorial Care oncologists that deal specifically with cancer, and they can use the robot too in certain cases, because obviously if you have cancer, you have to check lymph nodes and check for spread, and that's best used as specialists who deals with cancer. So there are different specialists who use it. As a gynecologic surgeon, I'm primarily doing benign gynecologic surgery.
Okay. Now, are you located in the hospital, or where are you located?
My main office is adjacent to Saddleback, the Memorial Hospital in Laguna Hills, and the building adjacent to it. So that's primary. We have in our group, Well, actually, Memorial Care has expanded now. So we have an office in Irvine, we have office in Fountain Valley and Long Beach, and even Rancho Mission Viejo down here in South Orange County again. So we're spread over here. But right here, my office is right across from Leisure World. Very close.
Well, we now call it Laguna Woods Village.
Laguna Woods, yeah. I've been here for 30 years, so I still remember the old name. I gotta get with it. Laguna Woods, yes.
That's funny that you say that. Most people, I tell them where I'm working, they're like, where? And I go, okay, Leisure World. They're like, oh yeah.
Right. That's where I've been here since the 1980s. So that's what it was back then. And it's probably, what is it, been 15 or 20 years now? It's been Laguna Woods.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. You know, something that we're all experiencing, women over 50. So thank you again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's program. My name is Jose Juarez. I'm the Medicare Education Specialist at Memorial Care Medical Group. On today's program, I'll be covering the basics of Medicare and open enrollment. Before I get started, let me tell you a little bit more about Memorial Care. Memorial Care is one of the largest and top leading medical groups in Orange County, with top leading physicians and top rated hospitals like Saddleback Memorial Medical Center. So what sets us apart from other medical groups? Well, most of our locations offer lab and x-rays. We have an open network where you can see any primary care physician within the Memorial Care network. You have a patient portal, MyChart. This allows you to schedule, reschedule appointments, order prescription refills, and have constant communication with your doctor. And you have me as your personal representative. If you have any questions, concerns, issues, you can call me, text me, or email me. Now let's get started on Medicare. What is Medicare? Medicare is a federal insurance program for people 65 and older and others who have a qualifying disability. You have to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent legal resident. So here are the ABCs of Medicare. Medicare is made up of two parts. You have your Part A and your Part B, often called Original Medicare or Traditional Medicare. You also have Part C and D, Medicare Supplement Insurance, where I'll cover at a later time. Your Part A, this is your hospital insurance. This covers your inpatient hospital stay, skilled nursing facility, hospice care, and some home health care. So Part A, and what does it cost you? Part A is a premium free for most people. If you or your spouse have worked for about 10 years, that equals to 40 credits. Other costs for Part A may include deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance. Co-insurance may apply only when you receive services. Your Part B, your medical insurance. What does it cover you? This covers your doctor visits, outpatient services, medical supplies, and preventative care. Part B, what does it cost you? Almost everyone will pay a monthly premium of $148.50 in 2021. If you pay into Social Security, the premium is automatically deducted every month, or you can pay directly into Social Security quarterly. Other costs for Part B may include copay, deductible, and co-insurance. You pay 20%, and Medicare pays 80% of approved charges. So what's not covered? Your dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, and cosmetic surgery. What's Part C? Your Medicare Advantage plans, your HMOs. Most all plans are premium free. This is all-in-one alternative to Original Medicare. You must use HMO doctors and facilities. You have a gatekeeper, your primary care physician. Most plans include prescription drug plan. Additional benefits include dental, vision, gym membership, over-the-counter benefit, transportation, and worldwide coverage. You have your Part D. Part D plans come in two different forms. You have your prescription drug plans, your PDPs. These plans are sold as standalone policies by various companies, and copays and premiums vary. Then you have your Medicare Advantage drug plans, MAPD. Most HMO plans include Part D at no extra charge. And there's Medicare Supplement Insurance, your Medigap, which supplements Medicare. This helps pay out-of-pocket expenses. It comes in standardized formats. The premiums vary depending on your current age, age at issue, and by the county and state that you reside in. So when do you enroll for Medicare? You have 3 months before your birthday, the month of your birthday, or 3 months after your birthday. Then you have a special enrollment period. When you lose comparable coverage, move to a different county or state, you have 63 days to notify Medicare that you moved. And then annual election period. This is the most important time to apply for Medicare or make any changes on your current Medicare plan. And this is from October 15th through December 7th. During the annual election period, you're able to make an annual notice of change. You may join, switch, or drop the Part C plan, or you may join, switch, drop the Part D plan. Or you may purchase a Medigap supplement insurance plan. Please keep in mind, there are penalties for late enrollment, like a 10% per month penalty on your premium if you sign up late, unless you didn't sign up because you already had coverage. And once you choose a program, you are locked into that program for 1 year. And for you, Memorial Care now has a dedicated phone line available exclusively for Laguna Woods residents. The 24/7 phone line is staffed by a concierge team at our navigation center who's ready to assist residents with their healthcare needs. We now have a new medical office conveniently located in the Willow Tree Shopping Center on El Toro and Moulton. And this is easily accessible utilizing the Laguna Woods Village transportation services. Here at Memorial Care, your health is our priority. This year we're offering virtual Medicare seminars during open enrollment. We'll also be offering face-to-face meetings. Social distancing will be enforced and we'll be providing face masks and hand sanitizers to participants. Seating will be limited, so please visit our website, memorialcare.org, to view a list of our virtual and face-to-face meetings. If you have additional questions, please find my contact information on the screen. I've also included other helpful links and phone numbers that you will find helpful. Thank you everyone for joining us on today's program. I hope you found this presentation helpful and useful. And remember, Memorial Care is here to help you.
Cups, plates, burgers, chips, masks, outdoor air, 6 feet of distance, as few people as possible, and plenty of hand soap. Make sure lowering the risk of spreading COVID-19 is on your list for your next small gathering.
Do your part to lower the risk.
Okay, real quick, I wanted to let you know about our movie today. It is the Pink Panther, and it's the original one from Peter Sellers' 1963, and that's going to be at 3 and 6 p.m. today, brought to you by Irvine Clinical Research. Okay, let's take a look at our weather today. As I mentioned, nice and pleasant today and tomorrow, but then on Monday we are heating up, 76, 62, and then by Monday, warming trend begins, 89, 65. If you are traveling, take a look at some of those temperatures. Mammoth doesn't look too bad. It's nice and cool up there, 63, 28. Beach is 72, Big Bear 63, and then Palm Springs 93. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you again here on Monday at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.